see spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Get yourself a serving, maybe two. Talking Bulls basketball is what we do. Get your garlic bread and your dish of the week on spaghetti and meatballs. Oh yeah, spaghetti and meatballs. Don't forget the Parmesan cheese.
All right. All you tasty meatballs, we are back. Post All-Star break. Host Trevin and Jonsy. How you doing over there, buddy?
Hey, man. I'm good.
Yep. Really not a whole lot. It's been 2 weeks since we did our last episode, so not a whole lot has changed. They lost a couple of games. I can't even remember against who in that All-Star week or leading up to it.
Yep.
One of them was that terrible Pacers loss.
Yeah, we had that's the thing. It's like, God bless it. We've had some bad losses.
Man, up by how were we up by like 24 points or something?
The first quarter we were up by 24 points. It was like 42-18 or something, and it was like firing on all cylinders. And you and I can go back in our texts that are like, made like comments like, "Oh, well, we'll see what happens," and then it was like, third quarter's like 7 points, and it's like we're losing this game.
I mean, you knew right then, like we're done.
Well, that's when we started in our text thread. We said. The issue with the team is not only do we not know how to win games and close them out, we definitely can't come from behind.
No, absolutely not. When a team makes a run like that on us, we just like freeze up. It's like all of a sudden we don't know how to score. We don't know how to play defense. And that's what I remember. I remember texting you that night. Anytime the Bulls have a lead now, I just get nervous.
Yeah. It's like
I'm worried that they're going to blow this huge lead.
And it's almost like when I was coaching, this is 7th and 8th grade boys basketball. My like go-to line was just slow down.
Just slow down. When things get out of control, when you're losing, just slow down.
Slow it down.
For some reason,
it's the NBA. You're up by 24. It's like step on their necks, but it's like let's use some clock and get out of here with a win.
Right, like maybe let's not just jack up a step back 6 seconds into the possession. And
so, okay, that's over. Let's address the elephant in the room.
Yep.
Bulls go out. We make a move. We bring in hometown kid, Pat Beverly. What do you think?
Okay, well, I'm going
to reaction.
Here's my honest take on it. I have never been a big Pat Beverly fan. However, that's not necessarily because of how he plays the game. It's more just the crap he says, and you know what I mean. What you know what I'm talking about.
Dude, I couldn't literally not agree with you more. I was like, he wouldn't be on our board, but I like fucking hated Pat Beverly.
Yes,
and it's not like
you're good at what you do.
Yep.
And just like stop. As I can't even think of examples as different things he said, but it's
like jawing at people, in the game, like in their face, like Derrick Rose jawing in his ear, and I'm like, dude, you just got like lit up.
Yes,
but here's my thing: he is not the. And AK probably knows it, and I don't know how long he'll be here. Next guy probably knows it. You can never bring in Grayson Allen. Never.
Period. Absolutely not. That's like John Starks to the Bulls level.
You're right. It's like, okay, Bulls need a shooting guard. They have absolutely no one. They'd have to start freaking Bismack Biyombo at shooting guard.
Put him in there.
Or bring in Grayson Allen. And they have to be like, nope, can't do it.
Absolutely. I would rather them start 4 players than bring Grayson Allen in.
You're right. But never did I feel that way about like I was like pumped up about it.
Well, that's how. Okay, so yes, to finish my thought, you're right because I didn't like him. But again, he's one of those guys. He's like the remember. I mean, I know you know Noach, Andres Nocioni.
Noach
teams hated him.
Yep,
he loved him. So and as long as you're wearing a Bulls uniform, I'm going to cheer for you.
Yep.
Except for John Starks, I may get aggravated. I may get mad at how you're playing, but I'm rooting for you.
I was talking to a guy I work with about it today, and he's like, you know what? Pat Beverly is the NBA equivalent of Cortland Finnegan. That's what he told me of the NFL. And I was like, you know what? You're right. He is. Like, just gets irritates you.
Yeah, that's probably a good comparison.
You brought up Noach, but I said to him, yeah, because to me it was like Joakim Noah in Florida. I was like, I hate this dude. I hated the draft pick. And then 18 months later, I was like rocking a 13. I had the pistols going. Like, just loved him, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, see, and that's the thing is we're willing. So hopefully he can come in and make a little bit of a difference.
He made a comment, and I will paraphrase it, and I want to hear your take on it. And it was like, so happy to be back in Chicago. I don't know what I might do. I might do some crazy shit I've never done before. And I was like, we're playing basketball. What does that mean?
Right? What, are you just going to start jacking up shots from 3/4 court? Or
I told the guy,
people?
Is the only thing I could think of is he was going straight up like hockey, drop the gloves after puck drop. Like tip off happens and he just jacks them. It's the only thing I can think of.
I know. I agree with you. I did hear that comment and I scratched my head as well.
I liked it. I was like, yes.
Yeah. So he brings that attitude.
He does. And
I like that. That is something this team has missed severely. I heard Zach talking. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No.
But I heard Zach talking about it, that this team hasn't had that since Thad Young left. That veteran to kind of get after you.
A soundbite that Zach had said he's been trying to get Pat Bevan here for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Pat Beverly came out and said he's going to get on Zach LaVine's ass for not shooting more.
He's like, don't pass it. Don't pass it.
What is it? But at this point, I'm like, whatever. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. But the good thing is most everybody's healthy.
Yep.
Coming out of the All-Star break, DeMar's back. I read AC is going to be back. I still haven't heard anything about Javante.
No.
So my guy tells me to just keep waiting. So
Derek Jones Jr. back too.
Yes. Yeah. So that's nice to have because again, that's
and I don't even want to call it a bombshell, but we got the big news that we're shutting down Lonzo. You knew that.
I knew that.
When?
Let me think.
Boxing Day is what they call it in Canada. You've known for a while.
It's been a while, and my guy told me if I leaked anything that
you're going to be leaking
excommunicado. He John Wick me an excommunicado. So we don't need that.
So we've been sitting on this new. You did text me, but I was like, I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah, right.
So the Meatballs have known about this for a while. We expected it. So the signing of Pat Bev, I was like, cool. I'm good with this.
Yeah.
We've lost 6 in a row. We're 7 games under. We're fighting for a play-in game.
Yeah.
We need something.
Sitting in the 11th spot right now.
But
right, because I still don't want to see him just, tank the season. And so if you're going to completely not blow it up, but if you're going to tank, then tank.
Yes,
but they made that decision to not do that. So I'm happy that they added somebody.
Because I'll tell you what, Trevin, I'm never giving up on the team. Not this year, never. That's the show. That's who we are. But if we have to trade the number 5 overall pick to freaking Orlando because we suck that bad, yet we didn't land in the top 4 to keep it protected, I'm going to freaking rip random dudes' balls off down the street as they walk.
I hear you. Watch out. Because that's I think I read something where because they're not going to fall into the bottom 4 records, even if they land in the 5th with the 5th worst record, they still have less than a 40% chance of getting one of those top 4.
Yeah, it was 32% chance. Yeah.
It's not worth it. Let's ride this out, see what we got.
I'd rather you ride it out and get in the late lottery and lose that pick where I'm like, whatever. Because we got Jalen Perry in that spot. You don't even play him. So
yeah, exactly. Right.
Although he was getting some minutes in that last game against Indiana, and I was like, dude, he's hustling on D.
Well, that's okay. So when you watch him, like you can tell that he's got the defensive and the hustle and the scrappy, offense though is pretty shaky.
Airball to 3.
Airball to 3. I think he made another just real bad pass, but it's nice to see him getting some minutes and him contributing on the defensive end.
Because I saw a stat that was like, I don't even know I can't remember what he was. If he was like the 17th, 18th, 19th, like where he was at in that range.
Yeah.
It was like he had like the least amount of minutes for anyone ever drafted in that position ever. Yeah. And it's like, okay. Like, what are we doing? We're in the 11th spot and we're not going to play this guy?
Yeah, I agree. If we were in the top 5 seed, that's a different story. But given all the injuries and everything else that this team's dealt with this year, get him in there.
I think tonight we come out. I'm going to go out on a limb and guarantee a victory tonight.
I like that. I'm feeling good about it tonight too. I don't know though. Is it in Brooklyn or is it at home?
I'm going to check. I don't, like this All-Star break, like you and I also needed.
Oh, we needed. Hey, speaking of the All-Star break.
Home game.
It's a home game?
Yep.
Okay, so even more.
And Washington is at home on Sunday afternoon game, and man, could that be a big one for us.
Who's that against?
Washington.
Oh, yeah. They're in the 10th seed now, right?
We're 2.5 games behind them.
Yeah.
We could be a half game behind them Sunday if we win.
Yeah.
So,
hey, but I wanted to give you a shout out real quick. Talking about All-Star Weekend, do you remember that time when we went with the Bulls to the trampoline park?
Oh, altitude. Yeah, of course.
With Mac, and you were showing him some of those.
Yep.
I'm watching it with the kids on Saturday.
Well,
and I haven't seen that before.
Like, wait a minute. Windy City Bulls trip, altitude.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We were doing those root beer bombs back in.
Oh, things got wild.
Yeah.
But that rabbit double clutch.
Yep.
That was special right there.
Thank you. Thanks for remembering that.
I would have felt really guilty if I let the whole episode go without talking about
You know what? The only thing not about that, because that's a great memory, like barely remember it from all the root beer bombs.
It was wild.
But the Bulls are getting like a lot of shit for like not signing Mac McClung. It's like, hey, you think he's been cut from 6 teams because he's been dunking like this since he's 17. Like this is what he does. He might as well be on the And One tour. Like he's not an NBA player.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was like. Because I looked it up. He's been on the Lakers. He's been on Detroit. But yeah, there's a list of teams that he's been on.
Golden State, I think was a while.
State, yeah.
The Lakers, Detroit.
But you're right. He's been on YouTube dunking since his high school days. So
it's like, Sixers, diamond in the rough, Bulls, another mishap. It's like,
yeah, right. Missed another one.
Yeah, this is not LaMarcus Aldridge for Tyrese Thomas type situation here. Like,
or just getting rid of Spencer Dinwiddie for nothing. This is not that situation.
That one might hurt more than like.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, I think we come out. There's, as always, room for optimism for us. I think Kobe White's been playing his balls off. Vooch, our 2 guys, like Vooch is like leading the league in double doubles.
Yep. And on that point, just
maybe not leading, but I'm just saying he's up there.
Real quick on that Vooch point, I think Vooch took so much shit throughout the first half of the season, and rightfully so in some ways. But that was such a focus of like, that's like he wasn't playing bad. Now, was he playing worth 2 first-round picks? No. But ever since that, like he's continued to just double machine every single night, dude.
Like Vooch was he's your guy. He's never been, I like him. I don't have anything against Vooch.
Right.
He's the 3rd option and he's getting you double doubles. I know he's not great on D, but like we are. I think we obviously plan on re-signing him, or we would have traded him for nothing.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, you would have at least gotten a second-round pick for him.
Yeah, and you would have at that point been like, hey, we're not planning on re-signing. He's not part of the future. Let's get rid of him.
Right.
Like, they obviously want him around for a couple more years. I think they give him like a 3-year deal if I had to.
I would agree with that, and I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, I would too. I think we're probably I went to this thing for work the other day. I'm driving with a guy, and he's like, man, I don't think the Bulls can just, and you've said it a million times, underestimate the loss of Lonzo Ball. It's like, where does this team at with Lonzo Ball? And I'm like, dude, I think we're a top 4 seed.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Because he's in the point guard position that just bumps everybody down a spot. You got, AC able to come off the bench. You got Kobe able to come off the bench. And just the way he pushes the ball up the court, that's the one thing that not the one thing, but that's a thing on the offensive end that they
yes. And it's defense, he plays great defense. It's 3-point shooting. It's kind of and I think Io does a nice job defensively, but he's more of a slasher. He's not looking to pass first. He's not a great shooter. It's like, that's what we're missing. And it's like next year, if he's fully healthy and we have, although I want to ask you something here in a minute, but I think if we have a fully healthy Lonzo, we have DeMar's obviously coming back. You have Vooch, same team, but with Lamar, and maybe we add something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still feel, because we've been preaching on it for a year. That was the biggest in this fall of the Bulls over the last calendar year. That was the first building block. That was the main block that got taken away. And so, yeah, I still have, because the way that he played with everybody, he was such a perfect complement to Zach, to DeMar. So hopefully, he can come back healthy, and I'd be fine. Add a couple pieces, 3-point shooter.
Here's where my question is. Have you seen these rumors? A straight-up trade, Zach LaVine for Trae Young.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I saw it. It was the DeJounte Murray, obviously a Seattle guy like Zach. They're buddies.
Yeah.
They're kind of fed up with Trae Young shit down there. You know what? And when
they just got their coach fired.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. See ya, Nate.
I always like Nate McMillan. I think he's a nice guy.
Me too.
I would do that trade. If you're asking me right now, do it. I'd be like pumped right now if you told me that happened.
Because Trae Young's 25.
Yeah, he's like at least 3 years younger.
A few years younger.
Yes.
And he is, Zach's an elite scorer too, but Trae Young is like, the guy's got ice in his veins, man.
Yeah.
He's, he can go up to 50 points any night, really. And I know Zach can too, but that's an interesting rumor.
So, but anyway, I just we got 23 games to go. I was driving in the car today. I'm like 23. We go 15-8. We're at 500. That puts us in the East. That's got to put us 8-9.
So right now, 500 would put us at the 8 seed.
Yep.
So, and then like we did a little discussion pregame. We're not sure what that means. If that's 9-10,
we don't know.
Yeah, but it'd be nice if we ended up in the 8 seed, because we would at least have home court advantage for that.
And coming out, we have at least 4 winnable games, in my opinion.
Yeah, so what that means, though.
Yeah, Brooklyn, Washington, Toronto, Detroit. Honestly, I think we could win all 4 of those. Then we take on a hot Nets team with KD in there. I'm not saying we lose. Indiana, Denver, Houston, Sacramento, Minnesota, Philadelphia twice, Portland, Clippers and Lakers, Lakers again, Charlotte. There's winnable games down the stretch here.
Yeah, you've said at least 10 games that are winnable.
Last week,
I don't even have to stretch my imagination very far to picture them winning. All those Charlotte, Houston, Portland,
Detroit,
Indiana,
so, Minnesota. There's winnable games in there.
It's not like we're playing the Bucks every night.
No, and it's just, I don't know, man. We just got to hope for the best and just.
Yep. Hey, we're gonna do what we do best.
Yep. Oh.
And that's root for this team. no matter what, and we'll see what we get over the next 23 games.
Where the chips lie.
Where they fall, yes.
Have you heard anything from spaghetti peanuts, butter, and jelly? Have you?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if
they kind of blew the team up, and he's gotten real quiet.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't know. They got rid of Kyrie. They get rid of KD. All of a sudden,
radio silence.
Yeah, exactly. He's ghosting us.
Well, we've been there.
Yeah, he's not the first one.
So I got this thing here tonight. I'll be home for like the second quarter. So if you can watch the first kind of.
Yep. I'll keep you posted on what I'm seeing and what's going on. So.
And if you I'll keep track of this. I'll do the game cast on my phone. I'll be all over Twitter.
That'll be nice. We've kind of taken a little break from Twitter, so
we haven't made a tweet in a while.
Right now that game action is back, we're
back. Yeah. So let's just say, we're gonna put some money on the Bulls money line tonight.
Yep.
And let's hope sprinkle it. Let's hope the addition of Pat Bev gives us a spark, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm excited for the last 23 games.
Yeah. So I had a text from Frank Murray.
Oh, the infamous.
Wanted to know if he and I were gonna do like a White Sox pod along with you doing the Cubs one, and we just made it a Chicago baseball one.
I dig that idea. I dig that. I'm sporting the Cubs sweatshirt today. Spring training underway. Getting excited for that.
Yeah, it should be good.
I'd be down with that. That's a good idea, right?
We'll have to think of a clever name, and because our followers are like dying,
incorporating both.
Yeah, they're like fiending for our juices in the summer.
Oh man, they get pretty wound up come July and August. It's
can't blame them there, but
you should see the tweets that we get in the middle of the summertime.
a lot of dudes too. So like,
but yeah, I'd be down with that idea. I like that. Well, looks like John.
I'll bring out there in 1 second.
Okay, he's just wrapping up a little bit here, but we're going to wrap this up. So 23 games left, John. Let's see what we can do.
All right, buddy. As always,
that's El Dente.